Well, you look at the middle of your screen, you're not seeing things. It actually says Dead Women Crossing. Some call it Dead Women's Crossing. This is an actual unincorporated community, and it's known for an unsolved murder that took place in 1905. And just to give you a brief summary here, there was a woman, a school teacher, named Katie DeWitt James. She filed for divorce from her husband, and she was traveling with her baby. She was last seen with a local woman named Franny Norton. She was 29 years old. At first, she said she was traveling to visit her cousin in July 1905 to escape a troubled marriage. She was last seen in a buggy with Fanny Norton, who was a local woman who had provided lodging, but was also known as, I guess you'd say, a lady of the night. Weeks later, her body was discovered under the bridge at Deer Creek, with her head severed. Fanny Norton, the woman who owned the lodging house, she was linked to the crime by a gun and bloodstains found in the buggy. But here's a problem. The day before she was supposed to be, or the day she was supposed to be questioned, she committed suicide by poison. So that kind of threw a wrench in that investigation. Now, the baby did end up making it back to the father. So the interesting thing about that is the father didn't go to the train station when she first left. He wasn't present at the train station, but Katie's father was. All right, so if we go down here, I'll show you the bridge. I'll probably have to turn this around. It's always facing the opposite way of what I'm looking at. Here, just to give an example of what this looks like. So it's just a little creek, and you can see right in the road here, North Dead Woman Road. It's amazing that's still named that after all these years, but I think they want to keep that name there just as a reminder, and because it is an unsolved murder. And that's the creek, this little creek, and apparently it was right under this bridge is where she was found. So again, the father of the baby wasn't there to see her off, but her father was. And the baby ended up back with the father anyway. So I'm sure he was suspected at first, because that's usually the case. I'm sure even back then, you would suspect anybody close to the victim, right? But the fact that this woman also, that she met, that owned the lodging house, well, she offed herself before she was to be questioned. Well, that's pretty damning too. But I don't know, with back then, with all they see was the gun, she was linked to a gun with blood on it and blood stains. Another part of the story is that 2 women were seen leaving a buggy who people believe to be DeWitt, the victim in this. But they said that she handed the baby to a boy and told him to bring the baby back home. That kind of tells me that I don't think it was her. She was there with another woman. Probably one woman was the one that killed her, and another one might have been a friend. But they said the baby was covered in blood, but unharmed. So the baby was obviously maybe in the mother's arms when this happened. It's just a really strange story, but it seems like the more I read about it, and the more I read about it, the more confused I become. But she obviously ran to someone shady. The fact that the husband wasn't at the train station to see her off, I don't know if that's really suspicious. Was he planning something? Was the person who finally went after her on that train too? Did the husband put this person up to it? I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff. I know there was at least one book written about this. So you can probably find that, or just read the publications online, because again, there's a lot of different stories about this. And of course, this bridge is used as a place for paranormal investigators to go to and stuff like that. I've actually been there, but I didn't see any places where I'd have space to go really look at anything. Not that there's really anything to see. So from what I understand, she was found basically right under this bridge. Pretty crazy story. Pretty crazy that that's still the name of the road and the community, but a lot of stuff going on there. So just look it up. I'm not going to tell the whole story because I can't. And the reason why I'm confused is because it just seems like there's different names keep popping out of everywhere. Some publications will name the person that owns the lodging, but won't tell you what her past was, her background, and stuff like that. So the fact that she was the number one suspect, kind of makes sense. But this still today, this happened in 1905, and it's still an unsolved mystery today. It's an unsolved murder. So, go read about it. It's pretty crazy, pretty interesting. Yeah. And if you live in the area, just go take a look down by the bridge. Maybe you're into that, paranormal things, stuff like that. Maybe you'll see something or feel something, or I don't know. But I wasn't about to do any of that because at the time I went, it was summer. Everything was really growing in, and I couldn't have walked down there anyway. But yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, pretty crazy. It's right there in your face. It says it in the name. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and go out and read about this if you like this sort of thing.